just give it like 10 seconds for it.
That
Now, go to search and type in bumpers with an S and then Wacky Wednesday.
¡Ojalá gente! ¡Tiene ganas, primo! Amor ingrato, yo vengo a decirte que ya me retiro muy lejos de aquí, con la esperanza de ya no quererte, porque tú quisiste burlarte de mí. Con nuevos amores tú te andas cayendo, me llega tristeza y me pongo a llorar. Pero no hay cuidado que tú hayas perdido, con nuevos amores te vas a quedar. Pasó luego el tiempo y una vez me dijo que qué me pasaba al verme llorar, y del sentimiento que me acompañaba en aquel momento no pude ni hablar. ¡Chale, primo! ¡Que vivan los clásicos! La siguiente tarde que paso volando, te dejo estos versos, me puse a cantar. El primero dice, me voy y te dejo, muy libre en el mundo que puedas gozar. El segundo dice, tú no fuiste firme, tus dulces palabras tuvieron en ti lo que tú pensabas no era verdadero y lo platicabas para hacerme sufrir. Pasó luego el tiempo y una vez me dijo que qué me pasaba al verme llorar, y del sentimiento que me acompañaba en aquel momento no pude ni hablar.
It's Wednesday, and it's time to get a little wacky. It's Wacky Wednesday with Bumper Gomez. You never know what you're going to get from this former U.S. Marine that has a passion for Tejano culture and gets you up close and personal with your favorite Tejano stars and so much more unfiltered. Wacky Wednesday with Bumper Gomez starts now.
And we're live. Back in the studio after a long week vacation.
Right?
For sure. A long week vacation. I got to spend it down in South Padre Island with my family. We did a little show down there with my buddies from Inevitable. It was a good time, man. But welcome to Wednesday. It's a big week in the Onda Tejana. I know there's probably a lot of people that are going to be watching this show sitting in an airport somewhere. Maybe if they got a little money in their pocket and they got the good Wi-Fi, maybe they're on a flight. A lot of the Ondas headed down to Las Vegas. Yeah, Sin City. They'll be down there this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Some are driving, so that everybody that's driving, if you're watching driving, I hope you guys are having a safe travel arrangements to get to Vegas, man. Because I know, when you go to Vegas, where you leave and you're like, hell yeah. No matter if you're flying, train, or como se dicen, planes, trains, and automobiles, you're pumped up about getting there, right?
Well, it's
But
time to
dude, but it's still far as shit, man. Hell yeah. I talked to Mario this morning, and he's like, hey, bro, this is far.
Yeah.
So, no, man, shout out to all the wackos that watch every single... Wackos, that's the name of Rogelio. Rogelio was in here, and he was like, hey, we're going to call them the wackos, bro. Wacky Wednesday, we'll call them Wacks. Yeah. Cool. So shout out to all the wackos who watch every week, watching live on YouTube. We're live on YouTube, and we're live on Facebook. Again, every single Wednesday, 7:30. And tonight, man, is an interview. And I know you guys heard me say this plenty of times with many artists. But tonight, I spoke to him off the air, and tonight is very special for me. It's a very special show. I've been looking for Chente for a long time, and to get this guy and to pin him down in the corner is really, really hard. And then if you do, you get him. He's like, okay, yeah. And then it's like 4 months go by, 5 months go by. But I caught him a couple of weeks ago, and we got to sit down real quick, and he's like, let's do it. So without further ado, man, my guest tonight is a Tejano legend, Mr. Chente Barrera. Chente, welcome to the show, bro.
Hey, Bumper, it's a pleasure, man. It's a long time coming. And un saludo a toda la raza que nos está mirando por ahí por Facebook. And a lot of people are saying, well, don't you do your thing on Wednesdays,
Oh, you do?
Right? No, but the thing is, I started that as just like a little hobby. I gotta...
Porque si no, they'll start saying, I can't hear them.
Dale. Well, like I said, I used to do, every now and then I come and do this thing called anuncios, and basically what it is it's just me messing with my jukebox. I call it my jukebox. I go through, a bunch of files that I have, and I play most of my music to promote the band, to promote the CDs, to promote what I'm doing, to give everybody kind of a schedule of what I'm doing. And then I send out birthday shout outs, and we just have a bunch of fun on there. And I never, at one point I said, I want to do this every week and do this and do that. But man, it's a lot of work, man, and especially when
I'm glad you said that. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, bro. and we're busy enough, and then and for those of you that don't know, I have a day job, night job, whatever you want to call it. I'm in the courier business, and I've been doing it for the past 20 plus years, and so my schedule changed, so I wasn't able to get to it as fast as I wanted to. Today, Bumper caught me on a good day, so aquí estamos con él, y once again, quiero mandar un saludo a toda la raza que nos está mirando, right? Everybody on Facebook, everybody going to Vegas, good luck, and this year wasn't, I didn't plan on going to Vegas this year because I plan on going next year because, God willing, it'll be my 25th anniversary as a band, as Chente Barrera y Taconazo. So we plan on doing something big next year.
Chente, I remember it clearly, man. We lived in California, and me and my wife would go ever so often to the conventions because it's just we could just drive right from Southern California. Yeah, it's 4.5 hour drive. And my buddy Fernando Hernandez, everybody calls him El Muñeco. He used to work for KIWW back in the day from the Valley. And
he's got that big voice, right?
Yeah, he has he's the one that you asked about the other intro. That's him. He's the one that has that voice. Man. So the baby Joe Morales.
Yeah, there you go. Junior.
But no, man, I ran into you there, and this was back in 2004. It was in between my Iraq trips.
Wow.
We had just got back from Iraq, and then we're about to leave again. And so we went over there, and I remember you were setting up. Y'all were slanging CDs like it was cool, bro.
I believe 2004 was the first year they did the convention. Was it?
I don't remember. That's the first one that I remember us going to, and
To make a long story short, I was a big part of behind the scenes for Vegas for the national convention. David will tell you, you know, one day we played in Kansas City, and you know that the Tejano Music Awards were the originators of that whole Vegas showcase thing back in the 90s. And, you know, whatever happened. And so there was no Vegas for a few years. And, you know, I met David Chavez through, he used to work with National Council of La Raza. And they were doing events all over the United States. And he would do a lot of stuff for LULAC and so on and so forth, the Alma Awards and whatever. So one day he comes to the show. We were in Kansas City, and I said, "Hey man, after the show, why don't you come to my room, man? I want to talk to you about something." And he says, "What's going on?" I said, "Look, man, I feel that there's a big void in the onda, right? And I feel that there needs to be a nucleus. There needs to be a place where everybody comes together. You know, yeah, we have the Tejano fanfare, but something bigger than that. Something where you can, you know, gamble. You know, you see where I'm going with this? Somewhere where you can, you know, a one-stop shop. You can gamble, go swimming, go, you know, do the town.
For sure.
Tejano music all over the place. And he says, "You're talking about Vegas?" And I said, "Well, yeah, you know, the Tejano Awards used to do it, and they would just take bands and stuff like that. But see, I was seeing the things that David was doing, and I said, man, there's a lot of people that want to know about the accordion or know about history and know about, you know, they would do workshops, you know, and get so many musicians involved. He was doing that already in other events, like the Junto Festival would do. And I said, man, you're the guy that can do it. You know what I mean?
You can organize it.
Yeah, I said, I know you know the people, and you're the guy that can do it. And a few months later, he called me. He says, "Hey, man, I talked to these people, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, we're going to do in Vegas." And, I mean, he was, they were very, not resistant, but they were like, man, is this going to work? Because, you know, we put our house up.
Our Tejano's going to come out and travel to Vegas.
We put our house up for this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was that serious.
Right.
And so, well, here they are, man, you know, almost 20 years later, and it's still kicking, man. So,
wow.
Yeah, and so that's why I said, you know, this year we had talked, and he's like, "Hey, man, you coming down?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Why not?" And I said, "Because next year's the 25th, and I want to do something really big, you know." And he already had a great lineup and stuff. So, I'm hoping that
you know, I mean, I'm glad
we'll do something.
You know, you said a center point, right? We have fanfare, we have stuff like that, but Vegas, man, for people to travel all over from the United States to go to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
We get it. It's a Vegas trip, and you hide it. You hide it with the invite me on your Facebook Live so we can talk. Hey, Mario. He's driving and listening. He's one of the
there you go.
Mario. I'll send you a link here in a minute. I'll send you a link in a minute.
Yeah, I'll send you some gas money.
There you go. We'll send you some gas money. But you know, shout out to all the artists. Or what Cesar Martinez from David Lee's watching. Rob Reynosa, David Lee Camp, RJ De Leon, my buddy Mario Reyes, Albert Garcia. Thank you guys. All the people watching from Florida. El Primo, Mr. Juan Narvaez, is number one Tejano fan in Florida over there. Thank you guys for tuning in again. Everybody watching on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Tonight's gonna be cool, dude. I got Chente Barrera next to me, and like I said in the description, to me, he's a Tejano legend. One of the first comments that we got on YouTube.
Well, okay, man. Look, man, the Tejano legends is Little Joe, Agustin Ramirez, Sonny Ozuna. The list goes
those
on.
are legends, but at the same time, Chente, you can't just put 5 and close it and lock the door and say those are the legends. Hey, the door's always open, bro. It's always open, dude.
Well, I've always been...
you've been grinding for over 20 years plus. How many years you been grinding in the onda?
Probably 30 plus years, but with my own band, it's been 24.
That's what I'm saying.
It'll be 24 this September.
So for the people watching tonight, you're going to hear a lot of... you can agree and you can disagree, but you know what? If you disagree, it's cool. But guess what? It's Bumper Show, so I'm going to say what the hell I want to say, right? And these are the way I feel about it. And, you know, I was talking to Chente offline a little bit, and it was just funny because the first comment we got came from the Barbacoa Bandits on YouTube, and they hit the nail right on the head. Like, the first comment that came across our screen over here was like, Chente, one of the most underrated Tejano artists in our genre. Just completely 100% agree with that. I mean, Chente, I remember watching recorded Tejano Music Awards year after year after year after year. And there's always the house band. Yeah, I thought Chente. Right? And you know what, dude? Some people see you sing, but to me, like, only people who are true fans know that you're a badass drummer. For real, dude. Like, because, I mean, you're not sitting behind the drum set when you go to see your band.
No.
Right? You know what I'm saying? You're up front, you're singing. And again, if you're not not saying that you're not a true Tejano fan, but if you don't go back in history, like, this dude is a badass drummer. That's, I mean, he was there every year. You see the big old curtain in the back, and there's Chente, bam, getting down with artist after artist, bro.
Yeah, man, you know, I've been very blessed, very fortunate to record with so many groups. And I have to thank a lot of people, man, that helped me along the way. You know, the first guy that ever gave me a break was, believe it or not, was A.B. Quintanilla. I was playing drums with Oscar G, Grupo Sol. We were in Laredo. Selena was doing their thing. And he saw me play, and he says, hey, man, do you do any studio work? And I'm like, not really. He says, well, check it out, man. I got a roster of bands that we're pushing. And the first CD that we worked on was Pita Studio's first record, which was like in 91, something like that. 91. And that's where I met Gilbert Velasquez. And me and Gilbert started doing stuff. And then I started working with Manny Guerra, with Manny Music. He had his label. And then Gilbert did a lot of work at Zaz Recording Complex, which was owned by Joey Records. So then I started doing work for Joey too. So at one point, man, right now I have just under 500 records that I've been on, playing drums, background singing.
Hey, so let when you say you throw that number out, 500 records, do you have a book, or what do you have that states I'm in this one, I'm in this one, I'm in this one?
I keep up. Every time I record an album, I'll keep up. I'll go to my laptop and
write it in there.
Yeah, I type it in. The last thing I did was I did a recording. I just recorded 4 songs with Freddie Records for Gary Hobbs' new record, which is great because I hadn't done any work with Gary in quite some time.
And when you say you recorded, you're doing
drums.
Drums?
Yeah, I recorded drums. He called me and says, "Hey man, I need some drum work, and you available?" Hell yeah, man, let's do it. And so. And then Mario will call me, and say, "Hey man, I need this." And
that's why he's dying to come on.
And then of course, me and Gilbert, I mean, we talk to each other almost every day, and he's always got something going on, man. He's been very blessed on me, and so he'll be like, "Hey man, you got some time to come, throw down a track or a vocal or whatever." And so I've always just kept those ties with these people and these artists that they call me for to do studio work, and I've been, like I said, been very blessed and very, very lucky, honored to work with everybody that I have. The weirdest, not the weirdest, but the odd call that I got one day was, it was like midnight, and Gilbert calls me. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just here watching TV, man. What's up?" He says, "Well, we need some background vocals." I'm like, "Right now?" He goes, "It's Intocable." I'm like, "Bam, I'm on my way, bro. I'm on my way."
So you've done background vocals?
I did background vocals for the record. It's called Sueños. It's like a white record.
The white one, yeah.
Yeah, and so Louis Padilla, who's a great songwriter.
Dude, Louis Padilla is...
La Firma, if you don't know who he is, right? He had gotten sick or he couldn't make it or something, because he was doing the background vocals.
Still does.
Yeah, he still does in the studio. And so they called me, man, because they wanted the record like yesterday. And Gilbert was like, "Well, let's give Chente a shot, So I go in there and did a couple of runs and made it on the record, man. So I was like, damn,
Added it to your list.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I've done stuff for Bobby Pulido, for Jennifer Peña, for of course, Ram, David Lee, of course, the stuff I did with Jay, the stuff that I've done for myself. The list goes on, man. Gary Hobbs.
You can sit here all day. They say 500 people, bro. 500 things says a lot, about you, Chente, that,
And it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is, man.
No,
It's
it
a lot
is
of work.
500,
It's a lot.
500 pieces. That's separate from what you've done.
Right. So, and I've only done a dozen, right, myself for my band. We've been at it for 24 years. So we've done like every 2 years we'll do a record, which is, I don't know how that happens, because I see bands like let's say I don't know. I would see Michael Salgado doing 2 records at one time. And I'm like, man, how do you do that, man? Because I mean, it's work.
It's a lot of work, yeah.
But I mean, that just shows that just goes to show how busy somebody is, and so man, we've been, like I said, I've been doing it for the longest time. I recorded my first album when I was 10 years old. I was 10 years old, and I'm lying, I was 12 years old. It was in 1988. It was a band called La Diferencia, not Ricardo Castillon, but another Diferencia that was from here, from San Antonio, and it was a horn band. And I remember one day they're like, we're gonna go record, because the way it all started, man. My dad, he was a singer, bajo sexto player. He sang with a bunch of local groups here. Monte Carlo was pretty popular in the 80s, and he had just got done with his run with David Lee. He used to sing with David Lee for a little while in the late 70s. And that's where the whole Pulido comes in, because when my dad was singing with David Lee, they were opening up for Pulido every time Pulido would come to town. And that's where I got engaged to, wow, check this guy out.
Well, I see, you always give tribute to Roberto Pulido.
Yeah, and
anywhere I've ever seen you.
So besides my dad, he's my other hero, because, I mean, it's just, I mean, I used to go to sleep under the tables, man, listening to the music. And yeah, I don't know if you've seen that thing on Facebook where it has the chavalón there asleep under the table.
Always.
So that's me, man.
That's us, dude. That's
that was
us.
me, And so, so my parents, man, they would take me everywhere to see Pulido, around, we'd go to Beeville, go to Seguin, we'd go all around, and they became good friends and whatnot. But like I said, going back to, my dad's influence, he was always showing me so many albums from so many groups, from Conjunto Bernal to Steve Jordan, Little Joe La Familia, the Latineers, the list goes on, man. It's just so much music that I came across, and I still have it. And unfortunately, he passed in 1984. I always thought in my head, in my heart, I always thought, man, I gotta finish what Dad started, And so that's when, I started playing drums. I mean, I was already playing drums, and I guess in like it was around 1988, 89. I got a call from this band. It was Elio Quintanilla, Los Tall Boys. Well, it was Johnny Mora, right? They became Los Tall Boys, right? I wasn't a tall boy, but but it was funny because they had, this is when the quinceañera wedding circuit was still happening,
Right.
And every weekend they had gigs, and if it was a club gig, well, they would take somebody else to help them because I was too young. I mean, I was what, 9 years old, and we were working. It was funny because we'd take a break, and the band go to the bar, and I'd go to the playground. Y al rato viene mom, Chente, time to go back, and I'm there, it's sad.
Dude, that's gotta be awesome, though, bro.
Yeah, I'm taking the sand off y todo, I'm all dirty.
Get in here.
Yeah. So then the guy at the end of the night, he gives me the money and tell my mom, "What's this for?" She says, "Well, this is your pay. You played. Here, hold on to it for me." Anyway, I didn't know what it was about. That I was getting paid to play. Anyway, the years go on, and then I hooked up with. Actually, the Tall Boys started getting real busy. They were starting to do the club circuit, so they finally got somebody that they and so then I joined this Diferencia group, and that's where I got my first recording as a drummer, and then from there it went to. I was playing with a group called Los Medinas, who were from the South Side brothers that played more They played more norteño, more cumbia, more tropical type music, which wasn't my bag at the time, because I was, pro Tejano,
Yeah.
I walked in there and I'm playing Pulido style, and the guy's like, hold up, man, you need to play more conjunto style, and I'm, okay. So I learned a lot when I was there. I learned a lot about conjunto, norteño, and cumbia, and then the different rhythms and stuff. And so I shout out to Jesse Medina and all his brothers, that gave me an opportunity. So that from there, I jumped to Los Hermanos Farias, right? Mm-hmm. And which later became La Tropa F, right? And I was there during the transition. One day we were. It's funny because I always tell the story. I said one day we were wearing Cavaricis. Remember that?
Z Cavaricis, baby.
Cavaricis. And the
That had the pants that had the flap over.
With about the 20 zipper, 20 buttons. Anyway, so we're doing that, and from one week to the next, we look like the Sheplers catalog. It was Sheplers at that time. Now it's the Boot Barn.
The Western.
But it was the Western, yeah, because that's where the Tejano movement was going. That's where, the bands like, of course, Pulido was going strong still, and David Lee Jay Perez was singing with David Lee, Emilio. I mean, this that was now. You know what I mean? So it was like we got to move with the times, and so we did. Anyway, in between that, I played with Tiger Diaz when he got out of La Sombra to make his own band, and then I got in with Oscar G because Jay Perez was David Lee, so I played with Oscar G in his band for a while. And then Oscar G got busy, bro. I mean, this is when, and believe it or not, this is when Tejano bands were playing like from Tuesday through Sunday. No joke. And sometimes on Mondays. And if you were around for that, that was a badass time. Hopefully we'll get to there, sooner than later. Right? But it was crazy because clubs were open on Mondays. Clubs were open on Tuesdays. And it was packed.
Chente, I was talking to this... I don't know who it was the other day. I think for us being the capital of San Antonio, we don't have that. We have, and they're both really,
I
great guys. We got Desperados on one side of town. You got Far West the other time.
Right.
Other than that, dude, I mean, yeah, you got where the DJs play, but I'm talking about like a little band playing during the middle of the week or whatever. We get the Thursdays. I think Mario's trying to join. Let me see. Yeah, there he is. There. He's all choppy. Here,
yeah.
We'll try it real quick. Let's see. Can you hear us, Mario?
Yes,
Dude,
sir.
it's not going to be good, bro. You're choppy like crazy. Let's see if we can hear you real quick.
Turn off your Wi-Fi.
We'll see.
Hold on.
Hey, can you hear us?
Yeah, perfect.
Hey, so there he is on his way to Las Vegas. Mario O. Oh,
he's on the torture tour.
He's on the what?
The torture tour. The torture Tejano takeover tour. No.
It's in the car.
Saludos, Mario. And also to Leo out there. Leo Alvarado también. Que andan ahí en camino.
The choppy? Oh, yes.
Hey, Mario, before I cut you off, what's up? What do you got to say, homie?
If you can hear me, we're on the road right now to Vegas.
We hear you.
Just
We
wanna
hear
say,
you.
what's up, man? Got daddy in the house.
The daddy in the house. Yeah? How far are you away from Vegas still, Mario?
3 days.
3 days. Hey, I'll call you after the show, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, much love to you guys, man. Chente, love you, brother.
Love you, brother. Be safe, man.
Yes,
That
sir.
was
Y'all
Mario
later.
O, guys. If you guys ever heard of Mario O, that guy right there, he's a living legend when it comes to producing music, and he's a great keyboardist as well. Hey Mario, bájate del camera, vato. I can still hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it off. Peace.
And Mario.
Yeah, Mario O, man.
Yeah, man. We all started there at Gilbert's, man. Everybody goes through that the Gilbert camp. You know what I'm saying?
And he said that too. Like you guys learned so much from Gibby, man.
yeah, you know, I mean, Gilbert lays the law, man, and you know that's why he's got 16 Grammys, man. I mean, you know, I only got one. Supposed to have two, but that's another story.
There you go. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, it's paperwork. But anyway,
but some of the stuff I want to pick your brain about, Chente, you know, your story is amazing, right? But where
you know
did
I don't want to interrupt you, but before that, only because I didn't finish earlier.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
no, it's okay. It's okay. But I was talking about that whole thing about, you know, when we became Cowboys with Tropa F.
Yeah.
So then
you were Shepler's
yeah,
models?
and then from there, I was going to school still, so it was kind of hard. And I remember I joined Rick Vasquez and Bandango, which was another big horn group. But they were cool because they were real busy, but they were in town.
And how old were you during all this time?
I was already like 15 by then. And then I got the call. I got the call from Gilbert Velasquez. He's like, hey, we're making a band for Jay Perez. You want to join? And I'm like, yeah, man, this should be interesting. So I joined in it was the end. They had just finished New Year's 1992. And as soon as 93 came in, started working on the record, Jay's first album. And I was with him for 5.5 years, man. And then I said, it's now or never. Because I just had this dream that I wanted to have my own band. And everybody thought I was crazy, man. They said, you're stupid, man. You're stupid because his career's taken off. I said, well, that's Jay's career, not mine. You know? And which is cool, right? Because I support Jay all the way. I still do. You know, and we talk and we still talk. And we're better friends now than when I was in the band, man. We'd always argue because he would always want to do certain songs, and I would pretty much call the songs, right? And he would tell me, no, not that one. No, not that one. No, I was like, well, damn it, dude. Well, you got all these damn good songs. Why don't we play them, you know? Anyway, that's just, when you're in the band, that's the friction that happens.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, one day he says, you know what, man? I was in the same position you were in one day. So I support you all the way, man. Follow your heart. And I did. And it was hard, man. It was hard because you're used to playing in all these places, all these big places, and all of a sudden,
and now you're by yourself.
Boom! Now you're by yourself, bro. You know, and there's a lot of promoters that, not all of them, but there's a lot of them that, yeah, man, I'll help you when you do your own band. Don't worry about it, man.
Y luego llegas y I'm here.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah. No return phone calls, no nothing, and but hey, that's how it is. Here we are, 24 years later. Got a Grammy under our belt. We got a few Tejano Music Awards and other awards that we've accumulated through the years, and I couldn't be happier, man. I'm just blessed, bro.
Chente, your band
and
your band has kind of been. You guys have you kind of stick with the same group of guys.
The same group of guys have been with me for the longest time. Like I said, man, I'm just blessed to have some great guys with me. The guy that's been with me since day one, man, since day one, bro, is Jesse Martinez, who's my keyboard player. He's never left me, man. And he just says that I like the vibe, I like what we're doing, and I got no complaints, you know. The other guy that's been there with me también is JB Hernandez, the drummer.
The drummer, yeah.
Yeah, I took him out of retirement, man. One day.
From the Valley, right? He's from the Valley.
He used to play with Cali Carranza back in the 80s. And then he was with Arturo Montes y Ternura. And then he was with Oscar G. I actually got him that gig with Oscar G. But that's another story. And
I told y'all the thing. Chente's full of freaking stories, bro.
No, but he moved down to San Antonio. And then from there, it was weird because when we were making the Jay Perez band, he was still with Oscar G, but they were making Texas Latino. Right? I don't know if you knew that. He was one of the original guys from Texas Latino.
With Sevi?
Yeah. So anyway, he actually played with Joe Lopez too. He played with Joe Lopez in Nueva Imagen when Joe went solo the first time around. And so one day I needed a drummer, and I was like, man, who am I going to call? And I said, let me call JB. And I called him. I was like, hey, man, what are you doing? He said, he had a corporate job, right? And he says, hey, well, I'll help you out, And so he's been helping me out the past 17 years, I guess.
Chente, is it hard?
He still says, I'm helping him out. I said, yeah, he's been helping me out for about 17 years, but he's helping me out.
Let me ask you a question as a fan, right? Is it hard to be a drummer and sing?
No. I mean, I'm used to it. right?
Because you sang background vocals for many years playing the drums, right?
Right. A lot of people say, "How do you do it?" Because you got to focus on the drums, and then you got to sing too, but I'm used to it, man. I learned how to do that at an early age, and so it just kind of comes natural nowadays. The other guy that I want to mention too, that's been with me for about 15 years, is Angel Flores, the bass player. He's played with Emilio, with Eddie Gonzalez, with a bunch of groups, and we're brothers, man. It's a family. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
We all decide. I'm the leader of the band. My name's in the front, but I always want to get their opinion as well. Like, hey, y'all want to do this, y'all want to do that, y'all want to play here, y'all want to, there's times when, when we get asked like, hey man, y'all want to play for free? And I can tell the guys, you want to play for free? And they're like, no, not really. So, but I'm just saying, I'm giving you an example, and I'm being for real. Of course, we play, when there's benefits that, we need to be a part of, we'll be a part of that, But again, like I said, there's a lot of things like just different shows that people may ask a little bit more, like as far as, hey, can y'all do this? Can y'all donate y'all's time, And I'll ask the guys, and then we feel that if it's the right thing to do, then we'll do it, But I get their opinion. I don't just make the decision for them.
Are most of your guys, except your drummer, right? Does he still call the Valley home, or?
No, he goes back and forth, but he lives here in San Antonio.
He lives here in San Antonio?
Yeah, he lives here in San Antonio. All my guys are from here. Finally, man. And then the newest guys in the band that I got a living legend, man. He's played guitar. He used to play guitar with my dad. And then when they were with David Lee, his name was Henry Kike Esquivel. And he's played with Emilio too. Emilio's like first 5-6 albums.
So you got top notch people.
And then we got this guy named Chris Arrocha, who also he was playing with Johnny Martinez, with Eddie Gonzalez. He played with Emilio for a while when Emilio came back from the accident and whatnot. So man, I got a great group of guys. I can't complain, man. I mean, we have a lot of fun, and we're just growing. The chemistry's growing, and we're working on a new record, man. So I'm really excited about that.
Dude, I saw you guys 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago you guys were at Gibby's? And I was telling, if you guys, that's something, if you guys haven't checked that out on the southeast side of town, if you live here in San Antonio, Gibby's, I think he's doing it once a month, or he has a Tejano band out back in the patio, and it's very personal. Like, when I say personal, like it's, if you ever want to, like, see a group up close and personal, you want to go there.
Yeah.
And me and my wife could not stop talking about Chente after the show. When you go to a show, you're like, hey, they played okay. I've seen them do better, or whatever. I've seen Chente on multiple occasions, and it's like I told you, Chente, la mera neta, bro. Like, you, for me, easily top 4, top 5 Tejano vocalists.
Wow.
That's kicking right now. That's continuing to put out music. But here's where I want to get into. We're gonna get a little wacky, a little bumpers right here.
Oh, shit.
My thing is that all that badass music you put, to me, your own town, your own city has never shown the love that I think you deserve.
You know
right?
what, man?
And I mean, as far as radio,
we've talked about that as a band. Like, look, man, we try to play up to par with everybody. We use certain studios to get the certain sound. We're trying to see what they're playing on the radio. For whatever reason, man, I never got the love from a lot of radio here in town. Without mentioning any names or getting deep into that, I can't pinpoint, it was this person or that person that didn't program our music or didn't show our music, to San Antonio. Because when I would call the clubs, like when Grams was around, I would call Grams and be like, hey, man, you think we can get a date in there? And he's like, well, you don't get a lot of airplay, man, so, we don't think that the people will come out, So I said, well, okay, And then there was a couple of songs that did get some airplay. And I would call him back and be like, hey, man, I'm on the top 5 countdown. So, Where we at?
Well, where's my date?
Well, you know. So it was always something like that. And I'm like, well, you're not giving me time to build an audience. You know what I mean? And I think if people come check us out, you're going to leave happy. You're going to leave content, you know, because we'll take you down memory lane. Not just Tejano memory lane, but the other day we did some oldies.
Shit, dude.
We did some country. We do a little bit of everything.
Hell yeah.
Because that's our crowd. That's our culture. That's what, you know, they want to hear. The other day we played at a quinceañera, and this little old man walks up and he's like, Ojito, ¿puedes tocar una Ramonela? Le digo, pues te puedo tocar 2, 3, 4, 5, ¿cuántos quieres? Digo, no, pues tócame todo el disco, órale. So there we are with Puño de Tierra, Rinconcito, Tragos Amargos, Mi Golondrina. I mean, you name it, man. Rinconcito en el Cielo. We started playing all that. No, man, está bien contento el Señor. But that just goes to show that how versatile we are.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
You know, and then one time, this one guy's like, hey, man, well, didn't you write those Jay Pettis songs? And I'm like, yeah. Well, why don't you play them? And I'm like, well, that's part of his library, you know. But you know what? I'm going to play one for you. And I remember we did Son Tus Miradas, and I forgot what other song. And then, you know, it just, I don't know, man.
That's another part, Chente, right there. You've written songs that people, that people just don't know that he's the mastermind behind that song that you sing in the car to the top of your lungs. But, you know, the end state of what you see is somebody else.
Yeah.
But it came out of this guy right here. At one point in time, you wrote the song.
You know, man, it's always been the love for the music. And like you said, you know, yeah, we feel that there's a little lack of love from radio and maybe even, you know, people that haven't seen us play live or haven't, you know, because some people will be like, hey, man, so like, you know, just because they didn't play our music here in San Antonio, you know, because you get self-doubt, right? Like, well, maybe what am I doing wrong? Why is it number one in Lubbock? Why is it number one in the Valley? You know what I'm saying? But it don't get the time.
And we're from here.
And we're from here. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Well, something's wrong here because everybody else is playing it. But like you said, your hometown. And, you know, and they always said your hometown is the hardest. You know, when you can grab your hometown and ya cumpliste. Pero it's hard for everybody, man. You know, I'm one of the few bands that I feel that, I don't know, man, for whatever reason, these program directors or these, you know how they say we're at the mercy of stupid people. And again, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying that I feel that these people are either oversee it or they're just blind by the fact that you know, they just turn the page for whatever reason.
Chente, do you might think that, you know, because
it's kind of like when I was with Capitol, my first album was under Capitol Records, right? And they would send you a single CD, right? With 5 singles, right? On that single was Chente Barrera, Pira Estudio, Grupo Más, Emilio, and New Variety Band. Who are they going to play? You tell me. Who sticks out like a sore thumb right off the bat? Grupo Más,
yeah.
Emilio. Oh, well, we got the 2. Well, what about these other guys? We got the new Más. You know, I saw that with my own eyes, and I even would tell them, "Hey, why do y'all do this? I think y'all are.
You're not giving
in their
me
eyes.
yeah.
In their eyes, no, you're with Más, so
you're at that level.
No, it's not so much that you're at that level, but being the fact that your single is with Grupo Más, so you're gonna be right there behind them. When they program this one, they're gonna program this one too. But that's not how it was, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. I honestly, man. You know, I would hear I would get CDs. I'm not gonna tell you where I would get them from, but I would get CDs and I'd be like, dude, Chente's bad, bro. And so I would turn on the radio station. I'd be like, how the freak is this song not on the air? You know, and we're in San Antonio. Like you're from here. So I'm gonna go back a little bit. I'm gonna ask you this, and you can answer it if you want. If not, it's too personal, whatever. But you know, I know that you do a lot of you've written songs. You know, you played the drums. You got your own group, but you also promote and you also do business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We gotta eat.
You gotta eat. I get you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Do you feel that maybe some of the reasons that you know people didn't play you or stuff like that was maybe because of business, like on a business standpoint?
I would get some criticism about that. Like, well, what hat are you wearing today? Are you the artist, or are you the promoter, or are you the courier guy? What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just me, man. I'm making a living.
Make a living for your family.
You know
Hell
what I'm
yeah.
saying? So who cares if I'm the pizza guy or whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The music speaks for itself. You know what I mean? When I'm out there promoting, and what Bumper means by that is I'm behind the scenes on a lot of concerts. Like, for one, everybody thinks I'm the guy at the Tejano Explosion, right? Now,
I was one of them.
Let me clear the air here.
There you go. Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. We're clearing the Tejano Explosion air right now.
We're gonna clear the air here. But look, here's the thing. There's a team at the Tejano Explosion. They have a team that says, Chente, can you help us get this guy or that guy? And I'm like, yes, I can assist you with that. Okay, well then we're gonna get you to help us, to consult us on these groups that we want. Now, if there's 4 openings, who do you suggest? Right? And I already have my list, man, because there's a lot of my friends that I can't get in because certain people will be like, no, I really don't like that group. Yeah, but they're the new thing, man. You got to put them in. Well, maybe next year. See? And then that artist will call me, hey, man, I'm coming out on the poster, man. How come I didn't get in? You couldn't get me in or what? And then now they're mad at me.
You're the asshole.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, chingao, man. But
oh man, no, dude, this is great. This is great because look, on the inside, all my friends that are artists, I guarantee you, all of them are right now. They're like, pinche Bumpers at because that's
no, man, and it's all good.
You know
because
it. You know some people,
hide, bro. I mean,
yeah.
that guy. I mean, it's the truth. You can call the main guy from Tejano Explosion and ask him. And it's funny because you'll call him and he'll be like, well, call Chente. And I'll be like, come on, bro. Why you leave me out to dry like this, right? But, I mean.
Well, I'll say this, Chente.
But look, Bumper, here's the thing, man. And a lot of people are afraid to say it, but that's everywhere, man. Everywhere you go, there's somebody behind the scenes that's either connected to a group or something like that that's saying yay or nay, but they won't tell it to your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've told artists straight up, look, this guy just, for whatever reason, I don't know if you pissed him off at some point, but he won't have it, And either they go in there and straighten it out or whatever, but I just want them to know that it's not me. You know what I mean? It's that, because, and I know we're on Facebook, but I'm gonna say it because there's a couple of bands that thought I was cock blocking them just for whatever reason, just to hate or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, no, bro, look, here's what it is, and I'm gonna tell you al chile. You know what I mean? Just like they tell me, hey, this guy, he doesn't like your music. Fine. I'm not gonna live off of him or his decision.
No,
or his opinion.
you're absolutely, dude. But you're right now. You're really touching.
And this is very sensitive.
Politics.
Yeah, this is very sensitive because people, and I say it because we've struggled. You know what I'm saying? We've struggled along the way. I mean, I can't say, oh yeah, you know what, hey, we're booked solid. Till there's some groups that'll tell you, oh man, I got gigs in 2025 already. Yeah, and I'm like, well, shit, okay.
I'm trying to get next month, homie.
Yeah, I'm trying to fill in next Saturdays.
Oh shit!
But that's the way it is, man. And and it gets real sensitive because a lot of people get their feelings hurt, and well, why? It's like, and again, I'm not trying to defend the Tejano Explosion at all. They got their own thing going, but it was brought up this year that why weren't any women involved, right? Okay.
So let me throw my part and you keep going. My part was, I brought a lot of new female artists on the show, right?
Right.
And all of them, they all have their feet planted on the ground and they all say the same thing, like it's a man's thing, whatever. And then as soon as that poster hit with Explosion and they had all the artists that were playing, there wasn't one female on there. I mean, it was like fireworks, dude. Right? See, Bumper, see, I told you. Look, check this out. No love.
So again, we talked to Elida. Couldn't come to terms with the schedule, with the way things needed to happen. So it didn't work. Lalo posted on there. Lalo went up there. I don't know if you saw that. But Lalo went up there and said, hey, look, don't be, beefing on these guys because they did reach out.
Right.
I reached out to Shelly. Same thing. Just we couldn't come to terms on certain things, business-wise. It didn't happen. Stephanie was there a year or so ago, so they figured, you know what, we're going to give somebody else a chance. But that just never came to terms because, this person was booked or this person wanted this much money and, they wanted this date and it just, it just didn't work out that way, And in the process, and I saw that coming a mile away. I said, look, guys, there's no females on here. This looks a little...
This looks a little bad. One-sided, for sure, man. For sure.
And, we had one female, right? We had Patsy Torres, right? But still, people want to know why. People want to know. And it was nothing personal and nothing, like I said. And Lalo was the first to attest, and I'm glad he did because that way people could know that, hey, look,
we weren't doing this on purpose.
Yeah, we weren't doing this on purpose.
Female, nah, you're not coming.
Exactly.
That's good to know, Chente. But I'll stand on this corner a little bit and throw. If you are on that committee, you're on that. Like we have so much awesome new artists. A lot of new female artists, and I feel, yeah, you're not gonna put them the last band. They're not gonna be. What I mean? But dude, that thing goes on all day. There's no reason I don't think that we could find some way to get these females.
Mm-hmm.
But again, on
well, look, let me just say this. That was a big eye opener for the guys there at the Explosion. They're now they're looking in a different way, should I say, right? Because they did catch a lot of heat for that. And again, it wasn't done purposely, but it is what it is. I happen to be, like I said, part of that committee, so I caught a little bit of heat too. But these girls, they're my friends. They know that I'm not doing it, personally, or that I'll speak on their behalf.
You're not purposely doing it.
Like, hey,
it's
man,
business.
let's do this or let's do that. And so, but again, I just wanted to clear the air because a lot of people think that some of them think it's mine. I'm like, man, if it was mine, I wouldn't be here. I'd be in Vegas right now. But so going back to that, people, like you said, did it affect me? I think it did. I really think it did because I don't know why people think that way. It's like you. It's like, well, what cap are you? You're the Marine today or you're the podcast guy?
Are you a fan today? What are you today?
You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right, dude. But, you're good at everything you do. You know what I'm saying? So somebody should just... Again, what you're talking about right now is a side of the music that I've learned since I started doing this, and it's the political side, right? There's politics. There's politics in everything.
And what's the worst thing about it is you're not even involved, but you end up
they end up throwing your name in there, and then it's like, and they go to see like you're the reason I didn't play it. Down exposure.
The hell,
I don't know. But, I really wanted to touch on so many people agree, Chente, that you're just in a reason to say you're underrated, dude. You're underrated artist. And until somebody sees you live, you'll leave like the way I did the other night. And I've heard you plenty of times, right? But when I left the other night, like being that personal and to see the variety of music that they could play on the fly. Not, hey, they got a playlist down. No. Chente turn around saying, hey, play this. Okay, dale, boom. One starts and then they all start. And these dudes are playing. I love, a lot of people don't know, but I'm a big fan of oldies too. Like, I love Chicano oldies. I love people in Cali, the lowrider oldies. Mm-hmm. I love that stuff. And so you started playing that music. Yeah. Hey, so when you played that song, I teared up. Reason being, because my dad, that was my father's favorite song. Wow. So as soon as my wife hit me, she's like, hey. So I'm there trying to get my phone off the live, and just I wanted to record it, right? We're just a good recording of it. And I sent it to my brothers and sisters, and everybody was like, damn, bump. And his birthday just happened a couple of days back. So when you played that song, Renee, like, I was like, dude, bro, you played Richie Valens. all dude country. You know what I'm saying? And you're right, Chente. All that music, dude, is our cultura.
Yeah.
You know, we're a unique culture, man. And I really wish that younger kids could really see that and accept
We played
it.
in Wisconsin a few years ago, and there was a band called Copperbox, and they were like a Zydeco Cajun group.
Yeah.
So they had accordion, right? So all of a sudden we were playing on one stage, and I'm calling the guys, hey, where y'all at? Hey, we're checking out a group over here on this stage. Well, come over here. So I went over there, and they're playing bum 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 bum, and we're all freaking out because that's a Steve Jordan song, right? So then we're looking, and they played instrumental, right? So I walk up on the stage, I couldn't help myself, and I told the guy, hey man, I know that song, can I sing? He goes, yeah man, go for it. And I'm like, mira como baila chon, la hija de Dona Chona. And I mean, the group was like, yeah, like they were freaking out. Like,
That's
wow.
bad.
Yeah.
Was this a Mexican fiesta?
No, this was
Is it separate?
It was another fiesta.
Another
kinda
fiesta, I
like
got you,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, the Mexican fiesta, man. I've been trying to get in that fiesta for a long time. So if you're hearing me, it's our 25th anniversary
Well,
next year.
Chente, you're in the right spot because Bumper Gomez this year is a special guest at the Mexican Fiesta.
So how the hell did Bumper get here? I've been doing this 24 years.
Oh man,
Aye, aye.
you know,
I'm being like Richard, Little Richard. Little Richard never won a Grammy. So one year, and you can see it on YouTube. One year he's a presenter, right? And he said, the nominees are, this, and that. He says, and the winner is me. He goes, because I've been doing this for I don't know how many years. I'm the innovator of rock and roll. I did this, I did that, and I still ain't got no damn Grammy. And he got a standing ovation and everything. And anyway, that's why I had to say it.
so Miss Vanessa, if you're watching, Vanessa Selena Sanchez just mentioned me in a comment. Bumper, tell Chente I got him for next year.
Hey.
See, it was worth
Right
you
on.
coming to Wacky
Yes.
Wednesday, bro.
If that's why I was destined to be here. No, but for real, we're gonna be celebrating at 25, and like I said, there's so many things going on for next year.
That'd be awesome, dude, for your 25th.
Yeah, I mean, just so many things that I want to do next year because it's our 25th. I mean, a lot of bands don't get that far, man. You know what I'm saying?
And for you to keep the amount of dudes that you had for so many years, that's a hard thing to do, bro.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing, man. So I did the Mexican Fiesta when Jay Perez started. I went there, and I saw the reaction, and this was in the 90s, man. And I said, man, when I make my band, I want to get in there. And honestly, I think we weren't talking to the right people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Well, the right people are watching, just to
right
let
on,
you know.
man. And then I even talked to my friend Frankie Caballero Jr.
Yeah.
Right? We're gonna be doing a show on July 23rd. This is a shameless plug, but anyway, we're gonna do a show at the Rinky Dinks in Edinburgh, Texas. So if you guys are in the Valley on July 23rd, we're gonna be there. Me along with my group and Frankie Caballero Jr. And he's gonna be at the Mexican Fiesta this year.
He is.
And I talked to him on the phone. I said, "Hold on, before we say anything else, how in the hell did you get in the Mexican Fiesta?" And, no, but it's all good, man. It's all good. Un saludo a toda la raza, to all the people that's a great fiesta, man.
I can't wait, dude.
Yeah,
They
man.
say the crowd is
Yeah,
just
it's
on
crazy,
another
bro.
level, bro.
Yeah, you better take
and
your
you
merch.
played, you played there.
Yeah, I played
so
that in the 90s, and it's just grown from there. So,
man, I
mean,
can't wait, dude. Late August, I'm ready to go. I've been, when Vanessa sent me the poster and just to see my little yellow loteria picture on the bottom, I scratched my head. I was like, dude. And you were talking about like you do this on Wednesdays, and I was telling you how I got started.
Yeah.
And it'll literally sit you down and be like, man, dude, I started this with a beer bottle and an iPhone, and now I'm going
to one of the biggest fiestas.
to one of the biggest fiestas in
Yeah,
America.
not the biggest
Yeah,
fiesta.
if
Yeah.
not the biggest
I'm serious.
fiesta. And that's how I started. But, honestly, to all the wackos that are watching, man, like I literally do this from the bottom of my heart. I do this as a fan. Like you guys don't know the vibe I have right now with Chente being here. I told him one of my favorite jams is the old eight. If you ever just want to go for a cruise, type in Chente Barrera in your phone and put 80s medley.
There's one and there's two.
You cannot go wrong.
We have a
with
3
those.
coming out.
Really?
Yeah. And I shouldn't be saying this, but we're considering recording that Chicano oldies medley that you heard the other day, just because,
dude. Again, it's because I'm a fan of that music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
and sometimes, like we were talking about, people giving us criticism and whatnot. A lot of not a lot, but artists have said, "Man, Chente, you're always doing copies like the '80s and all that. Why do you do that?" I said, "You know why, bro? Because for one, that music will never die, and I'm not gonna let it die. The other thing is the young people, they don't know about that music. So I'm trying to re-educate. Like when I did Ando Borracho, when I did that song, people said, "Hey, you wrote that song?" I wish I wrote that song. But that was an O Pulido classic.
yeah, Roberto Pulido.
And before that, it was a Gilbert Rodriguez and the Blue Notes classic.
See, I didn't know that.
You see, so that's what I'm saying. So there's a lot of people that, again, when I did the Paloma, ¿qué andas haciendo? We won a Grammy with that. But younger people, or should I say my age, younger than me, and I'm not hiding. I'm 45. But people younger than me were like, "Hey man, you wrote that song, or where did that song come from?" I got that song from Los Aguilares, right? But when we were doing it, I told Gilbert, "You know what, Gilbert? I need to stand out. I need to give them the wow factor, shock the world, all that, right? Well, how are you gonna do that?" I said, "Well, we're gonna put horns." He goes, "Well, how the hell are you gonna do it live?" I said, well, I'll figure that out when I get there, right? But for now, we're gonna put horns, so we can just kind of freak everybody out. Because look around, man. Our horn bands are numbered.
Oh,
probably
dude,
with one hand. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
And because that was a whole nother era, right? And it's still there, but there's very few. So when I took out Paloma and we put the horns on there, dude, people were like, dude. And the only drawback was now I'm gonna get criticized because I don't have a horn section. But we got through it. I even
can your keyboard player do it on the?
Oh yeah, that's how he does it.
Hey, do it.
Yeah.
Hey man, we got people watching, dude, all the way from San Diego, California, Florida, Washington State. This is cool, man.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
Un saludo también. We got a lot of people. Jesse Roman Sr., Erasmo. I just saw him in Crystal City. Thank you, Erasmo. That was a great show. Martin Ramos, Juan Narvaez, Jorge Mendez, Mari Alcocer, of course, Vanessa. Thank you, Vanessa, for the comment. I'll be waiting for that phone call. Nicky Hernandez.
Yeah, you keep going.
Nicky Hernandez, Tomás Díaz, Rick Valderrama, La Patria.
Yeah, Ricky Rick.
Raymond Rizzo, Rodney Aguayo, Felipe Leal. We got Kaiser.
Steven Martinez. Everybody watching on YouTube.
Stella Gomez. Man.
There we go,
Roger
dude.
Aguilar, ¿qué hule? Ahí están los Aguilares.
There you go.
Solo que, yeah, man. Joey Jimenez is watching. What's up, Joey?
See all the artists who watch. Hey, dude, I do a show called Frito Pie Friday,
Yeah,
and I like to play all
Rocky
of
Beltran from the Iconics.
the Iconics. He's
Yeah,
watching, and I like to play new music, and it's awesome because you know what? It's there's no fans. It's all artists. It's all the artists. You go in the chat, it's puro artists,
Right
and
on,
they're just there to hear everybody's music, to see what's out there. As I've been doing the show, Chente, like I've learned, I'm still not. Joey knocks me down every time I think I even sound close to you about know what I'm talking about.
Don't talk about La Mafia. Though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You don't talk about La Mafia to Joey Jimenez because he will knock you off the horse.
That's like on Barbershop when they say we can talk about Luther Vandross.
So shout out to Florida man, Mr. Vert Ibarra. Hey, real quick, man, I'm going to pay some bills. You guys stay with me, man. One of the big sponsors of Bumpers Wacky Wednesday are my buddies at Create Original. If you're an artist and you're looking for a better deal on your shirts, if you got a reunion coming up, I don't know, whatever you need a shirt made, hit up my people. It's female-owned, veteran-owned, createoriginal.com. You can hit them up at sales@createoriginal.com. They will take care of all your t-shirt needs, man. Screen printing like it's cool. Hit them up. Great people, man. Great people. Always willing, and they're always out here supporting La Onda. So to the bands, these guys are always out there supporting you. So make sure you guys intend support them. So thank you for being a sponsor of Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. And then You know, we talked a little bit about my buddy, Mr. Sevi, Texas Latino, and all the crew. Slack Monster Studios, Rick Valderrama, that's their hangout spot down there. Shout out to Slack Monster Studio, and thank you for being a sponsor of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. Let's see, make sure I don't. Oh, we were talking about Martin, my buddy Martin in Beeville, Texas. Another big sponsor of the show, all the way from Beeville, not even in San Antonio. Topics Bar, coldest beer in Beeville, Texas. Yeah. They're only closed on Monday. So, you got 6 days to stop by and have you a cold beer. Shout out to everybody in Beeville. I
had to look at the flyer.
Yeah, look at it. Tell me, nombre. It's Topics. It's Topics. It's a cool place, man. And then last but not least, he's been a sponsor for, man, he's my longest sponsor right now, I believe. Ricky Ray, the realtor. You were talking about horns, right? This guy's a great saxophone player. He plays for Cumbia Kings. He fills in every so often. And then his main group is La 45. Bunch of young guys playing old Chicano music. But if you're in the mood, if you're in the... what's the word? You want to buy a house or you're looking to sell your house, hit up Ricky Ray, 956-424-5724. If you're looking for a business, residential, business, whatever, commercial, he will take care of you. Hit up my boy Ricky Ray, 956-424-5724. Ricky Ray, the realtor. So make sure you hit him up. And we're back. Chente's there. He's like, hey.
No.
You looking at all the comments, Chente?
I'm looking at some of the comments here. So
I usually have my daughter here.
I'm going to start a war here.
You're going to start a war? Don't start a war on Wacky Wednesday, dude.
We got Tomas Diaz that said Mafia was good.
Oh, Joey's going to get on here.
Hey, dog, it's on here, dog. No,
hey, I saw La Mafia last 2 Fridays ago. The Friday after your show. I saw them in Bernie. They still got it, way. La Mafia still got it, dude.
They still got it, bro. I played with them in Floresville about a couple years ago, and I'm like, damn.
Dude, they're everybody, all their...
Old school, new school, everything in between, yeah.
They're the shit, dude.
And then it says here, from Manuel Reyes, says, Chente, what happened to Robert, Cage drummer Richard? I think you're talking about Richard Barron, who used to play with Laura Canales, Roberto Pulido, Grupo Mas. He used to have a big old cage with a bunch of drums and stuff on it. I think that's what he's talking about. He's actually playing percussion right now with Stevie D. That's the last time I saw. And then we got a guy here who says...
hey, we got an artist that wants to go to all the comments.
Hello, guys. It said, can Chente Barrera sing a part of the song, Baby Te Quiero A Ti? My daughter loves that song. Oh, baby, te quiero a ti, solo a ti. Okay. They said, Mel, don't cut yourself. Woo, that's a part of a Cheech and Chong movie.
Yeah, I got you. Speaking of Mel, man, I love that kid, bro. That's your nephew.
That's my nephew.
You know, he's doing great things, man.
Yeah, man. He's all over the place, man. He's growing as a musician, as a drummer, of course, and I'm just proud of him, man. He's going places.
That's good, man. Chente, going back to you a little bit, bro. You know, I keep throwing this out there because I want people to understand my feelings towards you, and again, it goes back to being an underrated Tejano artist. like literally, guys, if you've never do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. On Thursday or Friday, Viernes Chiquito Thursday or Friday, whatever, do yourself a favor, wherever you get your music from, whatever digital platform you get your music from, type in Chente Barrera, get you some cold beer, or whatever you, Dr. Pepper si quieres. Sit on the porch, Mr. relax, and listen to nothing but Chente. Dude, I promise you, when you're done, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 3 hours, you will have a different respect for his music. Because I feel, Chente, like if we hear all these songs, these hits that you sang little pieces of, those are all hits, those are all badass songs. But where do you hear them all together at one time? Like, yeah. Because I promise you, there's people that you could sing a song right now that you know that was a hit, and people are gonna be like, "That's Chente Barrera." For real, dude. I'm being honest. Like, there's songs that we hear.
Oh yeah, I get people
DJs play.
I get people that have come up to me and say,
They dance.
We
like,
didn't know that was you.
Yeah, that's shit.
We didn't know that. So,
you know what I'm saying?
But it's cool, man. It's cool. I'm glad that people are recognizing the music and buying the records and online I get a real good response. I'm one of the few bands that still has a website, but it's a.
What's the website?
It's ChenteBarrera.com.
You can't get it wrong. ChenteBarrera.com.
And so all our music is sold on there, and that's basically what I have it there for, to sell our music and to let people know where we're going to be and whatnot. And so I know that's a thing of the past, but I mean, if they want to look something up or hear a clip of our music, whatever, that's where you go.
I mean, you're all over YouTube. You type in Chente Barrera. He's on YouTube. He got a lot of video clips. Chente, how are you with social media, bro?
Man, it's been I'm not going to say a struggle, but it's just been a little bit of a uphill battle because I'm old school, man. And my kids would always get on me like, Dad, come on, man. Because I don't have I might have an Instagram, but I haven't messed with it in forever.
You do, and you've only posted 4 times. That's why I could add you take it.
Well, there you go, man. Well, there you go. And I try to, as it is, I'm trying to keep up with the Facebook thing and all that, but I plan on getting better at all that because I know that's where the world is nowadays, and it is what it is. Man.
Chente, you're a prime example. What I talk about on some shows that some of the old school artists they steer away from those social media, and they're doing themselves an injustice, man. Because you're right, you hit the nail on the head. That is where the industry's gone. You know what I mean? We can now, being a kid, being a teenager in the 90s. Did you ever think that you could just you see Raulito dancing there with Emilio, and did you ever think that he could say, "Hey, how you doing?" Whatever, live. You watching him on a live, and you put a comment, and he gives you a shout out. No, we couldn't watch. I grew up in Beeville, so you couldn't watch that in Domingo Live there in Corpus on Channel 3. And call in and be like, "Hey, tell Chente we said what's up. Hey, shout out to Bumper and everybody."
Yeah.
Now artists can do that, dude. And if the artists aren't doing that, they're doing themselves an injustice because it's just another way to promote your music.
Do you listen to Sirius Radio?
I do when I leave the outskirts of San Antonio and I'm heading west.
So there's a thing called Trunk Nation, and the host is Eddie Trunk. And this guy,
not to be confused with Trump.
Right, trunk, like drunk,
like a trunk of a car.
Yeah, or junk in your trunk. Anyway, so this guy specializes in heavy metal, rock. That's besides Tejano music. That's what I love.
Tú también, you're a heavy.
Yes.
See, dude, every drummer's a heavy metal guy first.
But anyway, this guy. I mean, anything you need to know about metal or rock or that whole the hair metal, whatever you want to call it, this guy knows the answer. Right. But he goes on there and he has podcasts, he has channel. He's got like 2 channels on there, and I just feel that he's always posting stuff on Instagram and whatnot. I know he ain't doing it. It's somebody else doing it for him.
Somebody's doing it for him.
So I'm hoping to get some interns to maybe do that for me. No, but for real, man. I mean, like I said, I plan on making it work. And
I want to give, before I forget, I want to give a big shout out. We didn't work out the kinks, but we'll get them done by next week. A guy I met this weekend, Chente, his name is Timothy Revilla. He invited me and my wife and my daughter and my son-in-law to sit with him VIP for David Lee and Texas Latino this Sunday.
Cool, man.
And he's like, "Mom, we'll trade. Like I can give me a shout out of my company." So he's got a plumbing company, right? But I just wanted to give him and his wife a huge shout out because they made us feel very welcome. We were right there by the stage, and just great people, cool, dude. Like, man. And it's cool. You meet people through, we met him through my buddy John.
Going back to that Eddie Trunk guy, he brings in guests, right? Uh-huh. And not just anybody. He brings in like some big artists and Ozzy and people like that. Yeah. And there was one time where he had this guy named Jolyn Turner who used to sing with this band called Rainbow, and I don't know if you're familiar with old 80s rock, but this Rainbow group was pretty big. And I actually called in, right? I called in, Tomás puro pedo, right? I said, okay, Vincent from San Antonio, you're on the air with Trunk Nation. You got what question do you have for Joel and Turner? And I was like, what size shoes you wear? No, I had asked him about he was with a band, Yngwie Malmsteen's Rising Force. It was a great record. Anyway, I told him, hey, so how was it like working for Yngwie? Blah 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 blah. Hey, he says it was great, man. And then so the guy hangs up on me, right? And he says, we're sorry, Vincent, but we got to go. Next question. We got so and so from Colorado. In other words, they had a lot of calls coming in. But dude, I was like, I just talked to Joel and Turner. Like, I mean, that was big, but because of that show, like you were saying, it's all communication.
That's right.
I got a better story for you. When we were promoting, I don't know if you've heard my version of the Tejano Star Spangled Banner. Have you ever heard that?
No, I've never.
Okay, I'm gonna show it to you. Long story short, when the war was going on or it was real hot, we were getting emails and stuff from soldiers telling me that my music would get them through their day. That my music inspired them in some way or another. And that really touched me, man. And I said, I got to do a song. I need to either write a song or do a song that has to do with the military, that has to do with our country, but that can be Tejano or Mexicano or Hispano or whatever you call yourself, and of our culture. And so I don't know what light turned on, and I said, you know what? I'm going to do the Tejano Star Spangled Banner. I do the Star Spangled Banner Tejano style, right? So when I did that, I went on BNet Radio in Houston. Mm-hmm. I did an interview. Well, a soldier called from Iraq. Said, hey, man, I'm listening to you on BNet Radio. Blah, 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 blah. This dude's family calls the station and says, hey, that was my son that you just talked to, right? And you know what? And shame on me for not remembering the guy's name. But I said, hey, I want to say his last name was Olivares. I said, Olivares, if you're hearing me, call me back, bro. Please call me back. Please call me back. Because the mom had said, we haven't seen him in a couple years. We just talk, vaguely here and there. Yeah. I said, call back, bro. Call back. He called back, man. And he got to talk to his mom on the phone through BNet, through that. And I was like, dude.
That's awesome, bro.
I felt like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, just the power of radio, the power of technology.
The power of technology, bro.
I was like, oh, wow.
You can watch this whenever you want. Like, when we're done tonight and this is live, this is forever. Chente, like, you can 6 years from now, you can go back and be like, man, remember I did Bumper Show? Like, this will be forever. And I'm glad you said that, dude, because I don't say it to everybody, but it is very true, man. It is very true. A lot of people on here have commented saying that you always give shout out to the veterans, and you're always about the veterans and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I've had, all of, I'm not going to say all of my family, but a lot of my family are vets. Some have passed on. I have my nephew who just got out of the Marines, man. He did 8 years. And, he's there in Floresville. Saludos para Robert Barrera, the third. He's my nephew, and I'm proud that he's there. He's a proud Marine, and he served our country, man. And he was in Japan for a long time. And I used to always think about, like, man, what's Mijo doing right now in Japan? No, hombre, and then he would send me pictures. He anda poreando.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not
tattoos. Badass tattoos. And I'm like, ooh, gee. I said, we're over here worried about you. This guy's over there.
No, Chente, but on the real, dude, on the real, speaking, from a Marine sense and being overseas and in some ugly places, right? I've said this before on the show. You guys as artists do not understand. It's really hard to explain it for you guys to grasp how much music is to a soldier, a Marine, an airman, being away from family, being away from home, because no matter what shitty day you had, you knew that you could go back to your little corner, whether it's in a hole that you dug yourself or, some piece of shit shack and you're sleeping on dirt, right? But we find a way to charge our iPods. You back those iPods and stuff, and we put those earphones in our ear, Chente. We hear one of your songs, bro. Tejano in general, dude.
And for that small second, you're home.
For that small bit of time, for me personally, it reminded me that home's still here, the world's still spinning, and eventually, as long as we stay alive, I'll get back to it. You know what I mean? And that's what Tejano music did for me. You know what I mean? Countless times. So we always get thanked for our service, but I like to thank the artists. Thank you guys for giving us a little bit of home. You know what I mean?
Todos los soldados. I mean, I say it on the song. I'm just very, very patriotic in the sense that I believe in the struggle. I've seen it, not just in movies, but for real. I mean, I talking to my nephew and what he went through, and even my uncles back in the day where they had to, see families get killed for nothing, and not because they wanted to, but just because they were in the middle of it, man. And it just, I just can't imagine the stuff that you guys have gone through, being in the war zone and all that, and it really, really, really touches me, man. So a shout out again to all our soldiers and all our veteranos out there, man.
Hell yeah.
It's a great thing that we have our freedom, and it's because of you, And that's why almost every time that we hit the stage, man, I always dedicate it to our soldiers and all our veteranos, because I want to let them know that we're not they're not forgotten, and that we're thinking about them, even though they're overseas or wherever they're at around the world. And there's a lot of crazy shit going on right now, man, that we can't control.
We can't control, man.
Only God knows, and Dios por delante, como quien dice,
That's right.
Yeah.
Here's something that Chente didn't know I was going to talk to him about, and
puro surprise.
Puro surprises. But one of the first times that I physically saw Chente Barrera, I was starstruck in a sense, but at the same time, like, nah, that dude's the enemy. So he doesn't know what I was talking about. We were doing a cheer competition at Freeman Coliseum. It's probably around 2012, 11. And here's this guy, a Tejano artist, right?
Hold on. Before you keep going, my other passion, other than music, is football. Okay? I never got to play it in high school or in junior high. My mom never signed the papers. No, te vas a sacar a la mano, ya no vas a tocar tamboras. And I'm like, Mom, but... So I lived it through my kids. Carry on.
So there's Chente, man. He's got this bright red shirt on. They're the Cardinals, right?
Cardinals, baby.
Right? The South Side Cardinals. And so we had moved here from California, and my son wanted to play Pop Warner. And so we literally didn't know anybody in San Antonio. And Fort Sam, we lived on Fort Sam, still active duty. So they didn't have a Pop Warner team, right? They had some other football league team, but we wanted to play Pop Warner because that's what we were familiar with.
Where'd you end up going?
Dude, we ended up going down Walters all the way down. So we were part of the Highland Rockets. The Green Rockets.
The green and white. So Richmond,
yes, right, dude, that's right. So my wife's like, I'm hitting my wife at the cheer competition because the cheerleaders are part of the Pop Warner, and my daughter was part of the cheer, and so I'm hitting my wife. She's like, "What?" I said, "Babe, you were down in the thing, and you were like the president of the right man. Of the league, right?"
Yes, I was.
So I said, "Babe, that's freaking Chente Barrera." She's like, "The singer?" I said, "Why would he be doing football?" I said, so there I am. I'm trying to Google. She goes, "Babe, I think it's him." I said, and then when you walked by, it was on your shirt.
Yeah.
I said, "See, I knew it was Chente Barrera."
Yeah,
so, dude, but see, this is what's great, man. People didn't know that. That's your passion. Is do you still coach or kids?
No. During that time, man, my kids were involved. And at the time, they needed, the board had.
They convinced you to be the
self-destructed.
president.
So they nominated me. I said, yeah, I'll do it. And I tell you what, man, I thought having a band was a lot of work. Yeah, man, dealing with parents and.
Dude, it's a nightmare, bro.
Hey, man, my jersey's misspelled and this and that, and we spent all this money because, but you know what, man, I loved every minute of it, brother. I really, really, really did, because you get to do for kids that might not get that chance, man.
Correct. Correct, man.
Because there was a lot of kids that didn't have the money. They couldn't afford to pay for some of the things that were going on. So you would find ways. You would find either a sponsor, or, yeah, you know what, let's raise some money. And you know what, hey, we got some money.
Plate sale,
bam, let's get it going, man. There's no reason why these kids shouldn't have the best things,
That's awesome, dude.
And so.
How many years did you do that, Chente?
I did it for 5 years. And a lot of times they would ask me, hey, man, can you sing the Star Spangled Banner at the cheer competition or whatever? So, yeah, I'll do it, and then in between, hey, man, we need to, rile up the crowd, so we would say, okay, is it daddy's girl or mama's girl or whatever? And then I remember the one I came up with was, okay, shout out to all the grandparents, because when mom and dad say no, grandpa and grandma say, and everybody, yeah. So it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun because, I just to look at the smile in the kids' eyes,
But dude, the people that don't know you personally, Chente, right now, you just told a lot of people that was your passion, bro. Nobody would have ever known that, you were sitting there running the whole football league.
As my kids were growing up, they were in basketball and baseball, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I was coaching.
But hey, dude.
It's Mas. The last year that my youngest son, and he's probably gonna kill me for this, but the last year that my youngest son was in little league basketball, we took it all, man, undefeated. And here I am, the musician.
Hey, you're the coach.
The musician guy. Los otros
zone.
What
do you mean?
Los otros vatos con clipboards y todo. I'm like, hey, that guy right there, you get on him, you get on him. We're gonna play street ball. Hell with it.
Hey, dude, but sometimes that's the best. That's the best, dude, for real. Like sometimes that's the best way to be. I'm kind of the same way. I do coaching now. I got a 7-year-old, so I started all over again. I coach almost everything.
Dude, when I started
YouTube.
When I started coaching, man, like I said, my brother came and stepped in. I was like, hey, brother, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, but What happened was the way I got involved was I found out that they were going to let go of 24 kids because there was no coaches. I said, man, but that's not cool, man. I said, I tell you what, find another parent that'll do it, and I'll coach these guys. And I thought, man, you're going to have the bottom of the barrel, man. Well, I tell you what, man, we had some pretty good kids on that team, and we were called the Longhorns. And like I said, I had some pretty good kids on there. We ended up taking second place, sin querer, right? But the thing is, I'll never forget, we were playing a championship, and I used to do this, and I used to do this, when you trap, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to trap, and I would show my kids how to do that, and they got good at it, because I was getting pointers from, my son's high school buddies, And, okay. So anyway, I remember we won this one championship game, and I'm walking, to the exit, and some lady, I could see with the corner of my eye, she's coming up to me, and right in my face, she goes, I hate the goddamn Longhorns. Because we were the Longhorns. And I was like, chingale, I'm just, talk to your coach, don't tell me. Talk to your coach, shit, It's my fault, But anyway, dude, that was just a whole nother part of my life that I would never change, man, because it took me to a whole different, to what I'm used to as far as music.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
So from there it became the basketball, season, then baseball season, then the football season, and then when that Pop Warner opportunity came up, man, hombre, I was all over it, man. I mean, I loved every minute of it. Man.
I couldn't wait to bring that up all day today. I was like, I cannot forget to bring up the Pop Warner on Chente. Chente, dude, let's talk a little bit about what's Chente's view. Yeah, you're going to get mad when I ask this. No, you're not. What's your view on our genre right now, dude? Like,
I'm sorry, dude. I'm reading this. And Irene Herrera, Jojo Herrera.
Yeah, you're from
they're
K
from the,
Alamo.
they're from the Viking, the Northeast Vikings. Chingando los pinche Vikings.
Shout out to all the KLMO, the Weekend Warriors, man. Great
There
guys,
you go.
bro. Great guys. What's your take on our genre right now, man?
You know, man, I'm happy for our genre right now because for me personally, man, I've had one of the best years that I hadn't had in a long time. There's a lot of work out there. There's a lot of festivals. There's a lot of things coming up, and I mean, look at my schedule, man. We've been real busy, man, and I'm very blessed. I'm very, like I said, so I feel the genre's in a good place as long as we keep it up, and as long as we can keep, the hatred out, man. There's a lot of hatred, dude, and I feel that that's part of why the whole '90s boom, finally blew up, finally exploded, and I mean, we had, of course, the deaths of Selena. That was a big hit. But it's like, okay, where do we go from here? Instead of bonding together, everybody to each his own, man.
Everybody
Dog eat
build
dog,
up their
bro.
own walls.
Dog eat dog, and I hate to say it that way, but that's just the way it is. Coming from an artist that has always found a way to get in somehow, but it hasn't been easy. And not a lot of bands can do that. You know what I mean? I'll get calls from different bands. Hey, man, how'd you get that gig? Or how'd you get that gig? And I'm like, well, you kind of have to do your own thing. I'll call a promoter and say, hey, look, let's team up, me and you. Let's team up. You know what I mean? You don't take the hit by yourself. I'll take it with you. And we'll make a dance and we both make money. You know what I'm saying? But it's not every day that happens because...
But the reason I asked you is because you lived in the 90s. You were grinding day in and day out in the 90s with the best of them, right? And you're still around to this day. You're still around to this day, and you're still grinding. You're still making music. You're still making hits. Doing what I do, man. I'm just trying to find something that we can, some wave that we can ride, and I hate the. You said the doggy dog world. I always hear when we speak of Tejano music is a bucket of crabs, right? Mm-hmm. Once that crab starts making his way out of the bucket, there's a crab in that bucket. Says, not today, homie. Get your ass down here with us. You know what I mean? And I say all the time, to me, if we would treat it as a buffet, a table, and there's a limited amount of chairs, get your ass up here. There's plenty for everybody to eat. There's no reason to elbow somebody and be like, nah, chale, you ain't earned your way to get up here yet. Because at one point in time, you started there. Mm-hmm. This A band started there. They started somewhere. Somebody had to have helped you up along the way, right? You don't just like one day come onto the scene and you're just this great artist. You know what I'm saying? You need help along the way.
Back in the day, I remember David Lee saying that Roberto Pulido gave him an opportunity, opening up for him in Houston and all these other places that David Lee hadn't gotten into yet. And then David Lee flew on his own because he had already built a name for himself, opening up for Roberto Pulido. You know what I'm saying? So that formula there, you know what I mean? That formula there, I feel, has been either ignored or people just look the other way. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if just certain bands or certain promoters are like, no, we're just gonna go with the safe route. We're not gonna take a chance on this band or whatever. And in essence, and it hurts sometimes because then here we go 10 years later. Well, where are other new groups? Well, chingada, they've been sitting there all the past 10 years, but nobody gave them the time of day. Nobody, But there's those bands that they just keep grinding. They no se agüitan. We got this band right now that I think is killing it, bro. And I'm going to tell you again, they got in the Milwaukee Fest. Not talking about Asalto. These dudes, I don't even know if they have a record out.
Asalto?
Yeah.
They do. So I'm glad you're here because Asalto, I'm not putting, it's not because of me, right? A lot of people did this. Asalto, I found on a Frito Pie Friday. My wife was listening to him in the bathroom, And she's like, babe, who are these guys? I went in there. I'm good. Like, I'm good. Like, I can hear something. Like, oh, that's so-and-so. That and that. Yeah. Go and sit. Fuck, I don't know. I never heard of them people before. That was a week. A week goes by. Somebody sends me a thing like, Mom, play this for your Frito Pie Friday. It's a group out of West Texas called Salto. And I played it. It was at that time it was Jordan Rodriguez.
Right.
And I played it on Frito Pie Friday, dude. And the people were like, yo, can you play that shit again? And that's where I was just like, dude, how in the hell is there music out there that's not on the radio?
Right. Well, that's called underground. Signal was a big underground group. Signal didn't get a lot of airplay in San Antonio when they were. I mean, they were big.
Even
they were big
recently,
before
until they were gonna play for the radio station. If the radio station was putting on a show and they were gonna play that week, the 2 weeks before they were coming, chingo de Signal, chingo.
Well, I know this because I've talked to them, but I knew them. I mean, they were filling up grams already. They didn't even get any airplay. It was all an underground movement, man. Like this band Asalto, you know. I'm looking at them all over Facebook. I'm going, who in the hell are these guys, man? It just so happens that I know one of them, very good friend of mine, Jeremiah,
yeah, hell yeah.
And I said, bro, dude, you know, you guys are rocking, man. He goes, well, you know, we're getting calls and we're, you know, this and that. I said, man, that's great. That's great. Keep it up. Whatever you're doing, keep going.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Mira, bro, you're doing this without radio. You're doing this without, you know,
social media, bro.
Social media, man.
Social
key,
media.
You know, and wow, you know, that's you know, so again, you know, like I said, there's bands that make noise like that. And then there's other bands that just kind of kick back and like, well, they haven't called us. Well, you gotta, you know, you gotta bark.
You gotta do some effort. You gotta show some effort. You know, we talk about the Tejano Music Awards, right? You know, you'll have people say, you know what, fuck the Tejano Music Awards. I never get nominated. I never get, what do you call it? And then off the record, I'll ask them, say, hey man, did you fill out the application? Did you send in all the stuff? Did you? There's things that you got to do as an artist, right? Or as your manager, if you got a manager.
I sent it in, but they told me it got lost somewhere. But anyway.
But still, though, if you send it in and nothing happens, then you have a leg to stand on by the seat.
But I've never said that.
But if you don't,
because look, I'm going to tell you something. The Tejano Music Awards, especially with fanfare, I feel that is one of the biggest anchors in Tejano music. Now, whether you know other bands support it or not, well, that's a whole nother deal. But I feel that at some point or another, it'll come back around, man. And you know, because I mean, there was times when, you know, when we were at the Alamo Dome with 40,000 people, and Selena was there, and Mafia was there, and Intocable was there, and I mean, everybody was there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this was like the
red carpet, todo pedo,
the American Awards, the Grammys, you know, Tejano-fied, you know. And I mean, so yeah, I mean,
it's coming back, Chente. I'm with you.
Because there's a lot more positive people now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing different things so that the onda survives, and so that, you know, people like yourself that are doing this podcast, you know, I'm trying to like I said, I'm trying to do bigger things. I can't really say what I'm doing right now because it's gonna freak everybody out. But other than the band and other than that, you know, just keep playing and keep doing the shows, keep going out there to different areas. So I mean, look, man, I've seen the biggest bands draw small crowds. And that's where I say, you see, I'm not the only one. You know, when we get a slow night and, you know, you're like, man, no. I went and saw a big group, bro, a big name group. I'm not going to call them out. They had a couple hundred people. And this is one of the biggest groups, if not the biggest group out there. I said, wow, man, check this out. This is the big bad.
Just don't know.
Kahuna. You know, and this is a slow night. We all got them, you know. So it's all part of the business. And, you know, like they say, you win some, you lose some. But here lately, man, like I said, I've been very blessed. A lot of festivals coming up, a lot of good things coming up for the remainder of the year. And 22 was very, very good to us so far. And I'll be celebrating my birthday, God willing, the end of August. So you'll be hearing about my birthday bash pretty soon. But what can I say, man? We're here living the dream and
Dude, you're
music alive,
kicking ass, bro. Again, to the people watching, do yourself that favor. It's not even do me a favor, do Chente a favor. Do yourself that favor. Whatever digital platform, find Chente Barrera, get you something good to drink, get you some snacks, whatever you do to relax. And don't watch, just listen. You will fall in love with that music, man. I promise you. If you're a Tejano fan, you will fall in love with that music, man. What's up, bro? It's John Caldera. Shout out. Hey, shout out to John Caldera again. He's the one that he invited me out this weekend with the guy. And we had a blast, dude. Great people. John's great. Him and his beautiful wife. We had a great time, man. Chente, what I'm doing in my corner of the onda is just trying to keep our music relevant. Mm-hmm. And something you said that it's just been staying in the back of my head is like, there's the groups that have been around. Like people say, is there new groups out there? There's a shitload of new groups out there. Yeah. But as Tejano fans, we got to find a way. If your radio's not playing them, cool. There's other ways to find this music. They're out there. They're out there. I want to give a big shout out to my buddies at K Alamo. I believe K Alamo's their programs is awesome.
Their format, yeah.
Their format. I'm not saying that other ones are not. I'm just saying that their format really touches on all music that's already been around.
Look, I'm gonna say this without calling anybody out, but there's damn good music that came out after 2000. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. And for whatever reason, it gets lost in the shuffle or whatever. But again, I think it takes the groups, starting with the groups. If you got a label, the labels got to get behind it. People like yourself that likes to share the love and put it out there and have these podcasts. Give them something. It's not boring anymore. You know what I mean? There's stuff happening.
For sure.
There's new groups out there. Like you're saying, look at the country scene. Every year at the country awards, there's a new guy or two or three or four new groups.
Why doesn't our genre do that?
Exactly. And how do they sustain? You know what I mean?
Dude, that's a valid point right there. You're absolutely right.
A few years ago, this guy John Party, he's all over the place now. Well, he's been around for a while, but it took him a while to get up the ladder. There's a bunch of. Look at Midland a few years ago. Mm-hmm. They were a bar. They would play in all the little bars out there.
And now,
boom. You know what I mean?
We have to put blame on ourselves as fans, right? Because raza, I say this all the time. We love the old jams, the old music. Yes.
That will never die.
It'll never die. It'll never go away.
On the country scale, George Strait, Willie Nelson, whoever you liked in the 80s and the 90s, Brooks and Dunn, it will never die. But there's music past that, in the now. Great artists, great music, great songs. And don't knock an artist for bringing an old song back. Hey, maybe they put a new vibe to it. You know what I mean? They put a new touch to it. There's plenty of that, dude. There's plenty of people. There's just so many, like Chente said, there's so many great artists out there, and we just got to find a way to showcase them and bring love, man, because that's the only way we're gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way we're gonna grow, and we're gonna touch all kinds of age groups, man. I want to give, if you guys are in the Houston area, this is Houston, no, Chente, this weekend. Yeah, this weekend.
This weekend, there you go, dale.
No, I'm doing an early gig on Friday at the Grand here in San Antonio. It's for the Gonzaga Medical Group. They're having a big pachanga there at the Grand. So if you haven't checked it out, of course it's the Gonzaga Group. We're going to be at the Grand here in San Antonio. It's with Chente Barrera. And then on Saturday, we're teaming up with Raulito Navaira and Ram Herrera at the Social in Houston, Texas. I'm just going to give you the schedule real quick. On July 23rd, during the day, we're going to be here at Rosedale Park celebrating Joe Lopez's kickoff birthday bash with Joe Lopez, Grupo Más, Los Palominos, La Calma, myself, Chente Barrera y Taconazo, Roel Martinez from Laredo, and some other groups. They got a whole bunch of groups going on at Rosedale on July 23rd. And then from there, we're going to go to the Valley that night. We're going to go to the Valley at Rinky Dinks in Edinburgh. We're going to be there with Frankie Caballero Jr. So, yeah, a lot going on, man.
Damn, bro. Hey, bro, how are those when you have to go?
Dobletes.
Yeah,
well, I like it, man. I mean, I
Your
enjoy
pocketbooks like it, but at the end of the day, the next day don't like it. Speaking of events, man, and then next week here in the studio on Bumpers Wacky Wednesday, I'm gonna have Lalo and Elida Reina here in the studio, and they're gonna be talking about the first annual Elida Fest that they're having down there in the Valley. They've already have the big names, the posters right here. So if you guys love Elida Reina, next week on Bumpers Wacky Wednesday, they're going to be here. And you know how Bumper gets down on the interviews, so it's going to be a great interview. I hope you guys can check it out again next Wednesday. But here's a poster, man, for Elida Fest. Y'all get ready towards the end of July. They have some big names on that poster there. So we'll talk about it a little bit more next week. But yeah, Elida Fest coming, first annual this year.
How come I wasn't at Elida?
Hey, already.
No.
I see myself on the poster.
I'm only saying that because I had already talked to Lalo.
When was the date? Chenta's going to be in Edinburgh?
July 23.
July 23rd.
Yeah.
July 23rd. He'll be in Edinburgh at
the Rinky Dink. That's what the club is.
Let's go the Rinky Dink.
Yeah, along with Frankie Caballero Jr. And man, I tell you what, I said a lot of things that I told myself that I wasn't gonna say, but hey, it's all good. And it's all in the love of music and all in the, it's good vibes, good intentions, man. I'm here to support the movement, man. I mean, we gotta make things better. And we gotta be positive, man.
And help each other out, dude.
And help each other out, man. Muchas veces. And I think that comes from the old days, cuando se peleaban los grupos y que, no, I'm not opening up for you. No, I'm not.
Don't you touch my drum kit.
Yeah. A crazy story about Joe Lopez. We had played together. I was with Jay Perez, and my drums were set up like, this was at the Tejano Rodeo here in San Antonio, and my drums were set up a certain way, and I don't know what had happened, man, but Joe got mad about something. So while he's walking to the stage, they're gonna do their set. My set's right there, and he takes a smack at one of my cymbal stands, and everybody's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And, well, about a week or two later, we're in the studio, and he says, "Hey, Chent, I want to apologize, man. I was just having a bad day, and I took it out on your cymbal stand."
Por el cymbal palos.
Yeah, but it's all good, man. And again, we're gonna be celebrating the kickoff for Joe Lopez's birthday bash on, of course, July 23rd. That's a big day, man. So there's a lot of going on that day. But well, at least for us, because we're gonna play over there during the day and then in la noche in Edinburgh con favor de Dios. So, shout out to all the bands out there, everybody doing their thing. Of course, everybody going to Vegas, man. I hope y'all have fun. Me and Bumper over here.
Hey, we're here in San Antonio, dude. You know what, dude? Chente, I had people hit me up. They're like, Bump, you talk all this smack about Tejano, and this is Vegas, dude. Like, everybody's going to be here. You know what I mean? It'd be great to promote your show, this, that, and I got, like you said, we got normal jobs, dude. It's hard to get a little time off. Mm-hmm. And I just took vacation for my wife's birthday down in South Padre, and I didn't want to, you know what I mean? I didn't want to, take a little more time off because I got to take time off from Milwaukee.
I'm going to just act like I didn't hear that because I'm looking at, you got this badass picture of Vicente Fernandez, and I'm just looking at that.
No, but off of what Chente said, man, everybody out there in Vegas, man, you guys be safe. Have a great time, dude. And it's just an awesome thing to know that our genre's out in a whole nother state and people are vibing to it and they're paying top dollar to get into these. Every night's a different thing going on, and it's not cheap. You're not getting in for $10. I can tell you that.
But I tell you what, if you go not too far from there, there's this place called El Taco Gordo. Oh, that's where I like to go.
Chente, before I let you go, bro, let me ask you some San Antonio questions, right?
Yeah.
What is your favorite place to eat in San Antonio?
Dude, it's hard, bro. That's the hardest.
Okay, your favorite place to go for carne guisada?
Man, I would have to say Angelica's on Commercial on the south side. The best carne asada, hands down.
And so if you're looking for a carne asada taco, Angelica's on the south side on Commercial.
Yeah. Look that up. I guarantee you'll be like. You can ask for another tortilla because, anyway.
Oh, my wife's like,
goes there a lot.
so you don't have to take time off again. Oh, my wife's like, I'll be sure to drive to Florida alone so you don't have to take off again. Hey, my wife's calling me out. No, it ain't about that. And honestly, dude, me in Vegas, like, I just, it doesn't do like, I'm like, you know what I mean? I
Right
don't
now,
know.
you're going to go to your room, look at the Vegas post from last year, and be like, God damn it.
No, man. Tacos El Gordo in Vegas, overrated. I lived in Cali.
The thing is, there's nothing like that over there. We don't have not that anybody wants to go to Taco Cabana anymore, but we don't have a Taco Cabana in Las Vegas or in,
No.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
as good as
there's
it's
not
gonna
really
get.
a Tex-Mex. Well, living in California, living in California and living in Texas, I spent almost 16, 17 years of my life in Califas. So the food over there is, there's no carne guisada. Like you go somewhere and you go to a Mexican restaurant and say, can I get a carne guisada? The waiter's going to look at you. He's going to say, oh, you mean carne asada? I said, no, carne guisada. No, sir, no carne guisada. And then you ask for a flour tortilla, te lo van a dar the one that's just because they're for burritos, right? They're not tacos.
So what is that? And why is there a confusion there? Because I remember going to Arizona and I said, y'all got any tacos? And they're like, we got burritos. And it's a taco. So I'm like...
Because okay, Chente, when you leave San Antonio and you hit about Ozona, from Ozona, you can draw a straight line up and down the United States. Anything west there, all the way to San Diego, Los Angeles, Washington State, anything with a flour tortilla, they wrap all the way around and it's a burrito. Right? And they don't do like carne asada, that's a Tex-Mex thing. That's a Texas thing, Northern Mexico thing. Wow. Flour tortillas are from Monterrey to San Antonio to Houston and then the whole valley. Homemade flour tortillas. Oof. Everywhere else is puro maíz. Like, any tacos you ask for, they're always gonna be what we consider street tacos, right? Those are.
I think that's why people say. I don't know why it's like that. That's why people say que estamos chiflados en San Antonio porque la comida, the food, the Tex-Mex food that's here. I mean, you could go to the worst restaurant and it's still better than anything.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, man. What advice would you give an upcoming artist or a band? That's a good question.
Well, I would say to follow your heart, and if you really want it, get it. And what I mean by that is, what we were talking about earlier. If you weren't listening, get on social media, get out there, show the people what you're about. Get on YouTube, make a video. If you can't afford it, find ways to do it. People have jobs, people pitch in. There's ways to do a lot of things.
Well, there's a will, there's a way, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so, and even me, I've had the opportunity to do a few videos, but I'm like, well, no, you know what? I'm going to take the single out, or I'm going to do it like this or whatever. And that's why I did that little thing that I do every now and then when I get on Facebook and I play my music. Again, I have this thing that I call anuncios, because I make different announcements of what I'm doing, my schedule. And I'll even put it out there. Hey, if you want me to announce a dance that you're doing or whatever, hey, I'll do it. But I don't do it all the time. Like Bumper's here every Wednesday. And he finally called me. But anyway.
He said, I finally caught him. Hey, but no, dude, living in San Antonio, man, we definitely have our perks. But one last comment I'll say is that we're definitely spoiled when it comes to music, and that's a bad thing, because if Chente's playing at Far West and they say, hey, it's $15 to get in. Well, Raza's be like, fuck, dude, 15, bro? Like, why can't it be 10? Why can't it be 5?
We'll just wait till next year at the Tejano Explosion. We'll go outside the fence. We'll just watch it.
Bro, that reminds me. I went to the Conjunto Festival this year at Rosedale, and it blew my mind. It was $10 to get in. $10 or something. It blew my mind to see the amount of trucks and cars parked on the edge of the park, like down the hill, with coolers just sitting there.
Hell yeah.
Like, I'm just like, bro. I was like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Man, that's about $400 you're missing over there.
Hey,
so
man, it is what it is.
It's crazy, man. It really is. It's Chiara don't want to say, Bumper, did you get out to eat in the valley? No, I didn't. I ate at one place in Brownsville. Mike Gonzalez took us to, and I already forgot the name of the restaurant. And I had a burger. It was a Mexican restaurant. It was literally down the street from the gravesite of where his dad was, Jimmy G's at. It's right there, like a block and a half away, and it's right there in the corner. I forgot the name of it, but it was pretty good. My wife had fish tacos, and that's another thing. Did you grow up eating fish tacos? Mm-mm. Dude, in Cali, that is huge, bro.
It's a big deal, huh?
You go to a fast food place and ask for a fish taco. It's a fish stick and a corn tortilla with some coleslaw.
Wow.
But no, man, Chente, I want to thank you, brother, for coming and hanging out with Bumper's Wacky Wednesday, dude. I'm glad you touched on a lot of things that people get to see another side of you. Like, hey, bro, this is who I am. And, you guys might think it's me. And I'm glad you cleared that up, because on the inside, there's a lot of people who think you are the sole person behind all of those things.
If it was me, man, I'd probably retire by now. I probably would have retired, gone to Hawaii. No, I'm just saying. No, that they have their own deal. Like I said, I'm just a hired gun, and I gotta eat too, like everybody else, man. That's why, like I said, sometimes, you get criticized for doing what you love to do, and it's like, well, worry about yourself, man. Don't worry about me. You know what I mean? Pero pues, it is what it is, man. I mean, it's part of our culture. La gente that I don't know, man. We got a lot of envidia in it, man. But honestly, I don't pay attention to that, man. I try to just stay positive. And you know what? Hey, I don't have time for the negativity. We got to move on. We got to keep moving forward, because if we do that, that other stuff will go away eventually, And so, like I said, right now we're working on a new record. We're getting prepared for our 25th anniversary next year. I plan on doing a whole lot of things. And good luck in Milwaukee.
Vanessa, you heard that?
No. But that's another thing, man. In August, Milwaukee, they got a great lineup for everybody. They do every year. And I hope to see you guys next year con favoritosito. And I just want to send a shout out to everybody on Facebook. Thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, Bumper, who does this every Wednesday, for all his hard work that he does for La Música Tejana. And of course, to you guys, stay tuned for all our music, and be watching us on Facebook or on my website, ChenteBarrera.com, where you can get all my music and see where we're going to be at for the weekend and whatnot. And I think my phone number was on there earlier, but
I'll put it right here.
If you need to call us or book us for anything, I'm at 210-286-2939. And of course, you can catch me on Facebook, send me a message, whatever. And we'd be glad to help you guys out or play at your function or your event. Whatever's going on, I want to thank Bumper for this opportunity, and I hope to see you guys soon.
And I'm going to leave you guys with just a little bit of Chente, a little bit of one of those ones I just like to cruise to. It's one of those. This one's the retro '80s medley.
There you go.
It's just classic music, man. You guys.
Hello, baby doll.
Oh, there it is.
Hello, baby doll. But Chente, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Oh,
and
you, man.
you know, if you guys are out and about, you see Chente Barrera at your local carniceria, poster, your panaderia, wherever you see him on social media, make sure you go out there and you support him, dude. So keep supporting Tejano music. To all my friends, all my artist buddies that are out there in Vegas, be safe.
Hell yeah.
Don't spend all your money on the slot machines. You're not made to win. And we hope to see everybody back, back here in Texas where you belong, here by the end of the weekend, man.
Who do you have next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday, Elida and Lalo Reina right here in the studio. So make sure you guys tune in and stay tuned for that next Wednesday, man. And to everybody watching, all the wackos on YouTube and on Facebook, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for making the show a success, because we're an award-winning show. Don't forget.
There you go. Hey.
Award-winning show.
All right, un fuerte abrazo. Que se haga el taconazo. We'll see you guys next time.
Una vez más hacia mí. Yo sé que tarde o temprano tú vas a volver a mí de nuevo. Sé que mañana o pasado